Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about another girl on the streaming platform Twitch who is getting special treatment. This time it's a Russian streamer named Gavrilka that everyone is talking about. She recently began raising a hell of a lot of money on her live streams, claiming she wants to use it to buy herself a house. Not really the worst grift we've ever seen here online, but it's certainly a very current year thing to do. Too many broke millennials running around these days thinking they can just e-beg on the internet for everything, instead of earning their money by getting a real job and working hard like the rest of us. But at the same time, people do actually donate to this stuff a lot, so it is really hard to blame e-thoughts like this too much. If they weren't raising this money, someone else would, and that'd be leaving money out on the table. So sure, while the crowdfunders themselves are partly to blame too, so too are the people who enable them by donating. I never really understood giving away money to Twitch girls myself either. I hardly ever donate money to anyone online, let alone would I give money to some girl whose only talent is being cute and doing some kind of suggestive dancing. More about that dancing part later too, but first, let's stay focused on the messed up dynamic going on here. Beta male orbiters are giving women like this streamer, Gavrilka, hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars, all because they often think they could possibly get in their good graces, and then maybe even meet the streamer or hook up with the girl someday too. I know it's a long shot and that almost never happens, but I do think this kind of fantasy scenario is what keeps many of these donators going and giving, and it keeps their cash out of their hands, if you know what I mean. And it really is a big giveaway here too, since the people who are giving rarely get anything out of this scenario whatsoever. Sure, sometimes the streamers give them some kind of mention, a shout out on the air, or even a banner on the screen for a little while, but that is hardly worth this huge cost. Really, if these guys want to see actual hot chicks, they can already find that for free online all over the place. Not only are there hot chicks and pictures and videos of beautiful women all over the internet available for free, but also there's free porn everywhere too. These guys could be watching actual nude women getting naked and even having sex, but instead they're donating to Twitch streamers who are nothing more than big teases. Cam girls are huge teases basically, and they thrive on keeping thirsty men around to constantly hope to see a nip slip or a sexy pose or something. And I'm not trying to be too negative about this either. I think watching and liking these girl streamers on Twitch is fine. If you're into that kind of content, by all means, have at it. Watch what you want to watch, but once you start donating massive amounts of money for no good reason, well, that's where things change and get much worse. It's also worth noting that other creators, myself included, many people online accept donations like this. And I am by no means saying donating and supporting creators you like and enjoy is bad inherently, but just make sure your money is going to good use and you're actually getting something out of it. I, for example, make 5 to 6 highly polished, meticulously written videos per week. That's well over an hour of content for you guys to watch. Just saying. So with that said, no one could argue that donating to this channel or a similar one would be a waste. But as I said about the majority of these female streamers on the other hand, particularly this Russian chick we're talking about today, well, they aren't exactly doing much, and their content is weak to say the least. And to say this girl who streams herself playing a Just Dance video game deserves $200,000 for about a month's worth of work, so-called work, well, saying she deserves all those donations is really a big stretch. Next, let's talk more about this Russian streamer specifically, because her story gets more interesting the more you look into it. As I said earlier, Gavrilka has managed to raise over $200,000 on Twitch in a very short amount of time too, and she's done this mostly by streaming one particular video game, Just Dance. Just Dance is a popular motion-controlled dancing game that I'm actually a little familiar with. About 2 years ago when I got my Nintendo Switch, my wife and I tried the Just Dance demo, and then we liked it so much we bought the game, 2 years in a row now actually. And for those who don't know, Just Dance comes out with a new version about every year, and each year they update the songs and dances and add more popular current tracks and even some classics and originals sometimes too. It's definitely fun and worth it for people who like the genre. I play with my wife or friends or family pretty often when they come over and when we're hanging out on the holidays and stuff. But admittedly, Just Dance does try to milk players for their money. Buying a new game every year is already a little much, and then in addition, they also offer a season pass thing that gets you more songs month to month. And this all can add up for sure, but here's the thing. Back to the Gavrilka streamer girl, well, upon doing further research, watching her dancing streams, many people started to realize a funny thing about her shows. Gavrilka doesn't actually play the game when she streams it. She's not holding any controllers in her hands, and if you look closely, you can see she's actually just streaming videos of the game that have been put up on YouTube. That's right, this chick who made hundreds of thousands of dollars streaming Just Dance never actually bought the game or played it to begin with. And this brings brings into question her whole premise down to its core. I mean, crowdfunding and girl streaming is already cringy enough. Then to add on to this, the girl isn't even really playing the game? Man, I really have to call shenanigans on this one. And not buying or playing the game has a whole slew of other issues with it too, so let's discuss that. Firstly, not purchasing the game and then streaming it extensively is not really respectful to the developers. Sure, they probably don't care, and in fact, they might even be happy for the promotion of Just Dance here, but still, this is obviously a dick move. Next, there's the fact that the girl is not actually playing a video game at all, although she appears to try and pretend she is. With that said, I mean, why even pull up the clips of Just Dance to begin with? If she wanted to do dancing streams, she could just dance to music by itself and cut out this middle step of pretending to dance to a game. But instead, Gavrilka is pulling up clips of Just Dance and trying to mimic the moves as they're seen on screen, but she's not holding any gaming controllers, and she's not even connected to an actual video game or a gaming system. So without all the scoring and competition here, it makes all the dancing along to these videos pretty pointless and silly and kind of awkward, quite frankly. Maybe it would make sense if she was really broke here and couldn't afford the game or the console, but she's already been getting loads of money off of Twitch for a good long while now. And if she has enough money to live stream, she has a computer, a microphone, a camera, lights, and everything, she could at least get the game that she's trying to pretend to play. At the most, getting the game would cost her about $400. That's the price of the game and a system on average. But no, instead, Gavrilka has decided to pretend to play the game, probably because it's a lot easier and her dancing is subpar to say the least. That's another thing worth noting here, by the way. This chick isn't even the greatest dancer. If she was, she would at least try to play the actual Just Dance game. But instead, she struggles and can barely keep up with it. And her filler moves to try and play it cool really aren't keeping it all together. Obviously, people aren't watching this for her dancing talents, is what I'm saying. And it's not because she's a good player of the game Just Dance either, because she's not even playing it. So really, the only conclusion you can reach here, and the only reason to watch her left, is because she's a cute girl wearing skimpy clothing, and she's shaking her butt for dollars on the internet. And shaking it around on a figurative stage for money? Gee, that kind of sounds familiar. Girls dancing in front of men and being paid with donations. Well, it sounds like Twitch has basically turned into some sort of online strip club. Without the full nudity, of course. I mean, unless you watch some of the breastfeeding streams on there, which are allowed and supported by the Twitch website and staff now. I'm not kidding. But back to the Russian star of today's video. Gavrilka dances for dollars daily on Twitch, while streaming clips of Just Dance, acting as if she's playing the game when really she's not. Back to the why question about this whole situation, because I think I have another theory as to why she's doing what she's doing. I think this whole Just Dance part of her show is a way to better get away with streaming copyrighted content. Just Dance always gets the biggest hits of the time and classic songs too, so playing clips of them while pretending to play a game might be this crazy Russian girl's way of avoiding copyright claims. Maybe this chick is far smarter than she seems. Maybe she's found a way to get popular music into her shows, while also pretending to play a dancing game with a setup choreographed dance part that she can barely even keep up with. And then, to make this con even more perfect, the game part also shields her from criticism about her just dancing for money like a stripper. It kind of legitimizes her operation. If she was just dancing how she does now, wearing that revealing attire all the time, and if she did that with just music and no game, it really does make her look more scandalous. But when you add in the fake game part, it almost gives her more credibility. And it also makes her work seemingly acceptable on a platform like Twitch, a website that's supposed to be designed to stream video games. And you put that all together and, well, this chick kind of found a sneaky way to do her sexualized stripper dancing while pretending to play a video game at the same time. And also at the same time, she's using popular music under the game's copyright shield in the process. Except that last part would make more sense if she actually bought the game, and then she would have some sort of possible legal right to maybe stream it. But as we went over already, that's just another fake part of this already questionable story. In the end, Gavrilka continues to grind out fake dance moves on her Twitch page. Her grift continues, and she continues to get views, subs, donations, and everything day after day. After she raised over $200,000, she immediately started another fundraiser, asking for another 75 grand. Not sure where she lives or what property prices are like in Russia now, but 200,000 might already be more than enough. Unfortunately though, it's never enough for greedy people like this, and they'll never appreciate it because it came so easy to her. And the worst part is those poor guys who keep wasting their money throwing dollar bills at this dancer's stream. There's so much better things you could do with that money, guys. And I'm not talking about donating it to someone else like me, although hey, I do appreciate all the support my viewers can afford, but no, I don't expect these guys to give away their money to anyone. Really, they should keep their money for themselves or spend it on something with a better value. If these guys really want to use their money on women, for example, they they could just go to an actual strip club. Or shit, if you're really that horny, guys, you could have got yourself a couple of escorts at these prices. Go out and see real girls in the real world is my point. And maybe, just maybe, you might get some actual sex out of it. That's what I'm getting at. That's my story, and hey, I'm sticking to it. What do you guys think? Is this Just Dance streamer collecting this much cash in such a shady way a real issue? Are you concerned about the growing number of other female streamers on Twitch or YouTube doing similarly sexually suggestive content and deviant things? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.